Great. So welcome to Michigan Language Assessment Symposium, promoting collaboration to enhance international student recruitment and support services in higher education. I'm Fernando Florquem, Director of Marketing, Communications, and Stakeholder Relations at Michigan Language Assessment. I want to personally thank all the panelists, most of all for dedicating a lot of time out of their busy agendas to share their insights with all of us today. It will be a really interesting event. And wanted to thank all the Michigan Language Assessment team to help to put this together. It's been a huge effort. So to get us started, I wanted to introduce our CEO, Sharon Harvey, who will welcome all the panelists and participants. Sharon has overall responsibility for the strategic growth and operational performance of Michigan Language Assessment. Before joining Michigan Language Assessment, she spent more than 12 years working for Cambridge Assessment English, where she joined as a business development manager for Latin America before working her way up to a director position. Sharon has a BA in Spanish and Portuguese from the Universities of Southampton, an MA from the University of Cambridge, and an MBA from the University of Nottingham. So, Sharon?
Thank you very much for the warm welcome, Fernando, and welcome to everybody who's joining us today from across the USA. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to this two-day symposium, which aims to promote collaboration to enhance international student recruitment and support. Now, as we all know, international students play an important role on campus and also in our wider societies. Among other benefits, they bring cultural diversity to our student body and to our communities. And in the classroom, they give different perspectives and different experiences to academic discussions. They also contribute significantly to our economy. The US Department of Commerce suggested that in 2018, international students contributed an estimated $45 billion to the US economy. Now, as you are all aware, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound impact on all aspects of higher education, including international student recruitment and admissions. I don't believe that any campus in the US looks the same now in October 2021 as it did in the fall of 2019. But the good news is that US higher education is open. In most cases, students are back on campus. But of course, everything related to that student experience is subtly different. Now, the majority of the delegates that are joining us at today's symposium work directly in international student admissions, and you have lived and of course, indeed, continue to live these changes. Not only are you recruiting students for a very different college experience, but all the support services that sit around that experience are different, whether it's for orientation programs, intensive English courses, or strategies to foster cultural integration and social interaction as part of their studies. Now, in my case, I work in a very specific area connected to international student admissions, in the area of English language assessment. And of course, our world also changed significantly last year. Michigan Language Assessment is jointly owned by two leading universities in the world, the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom and the University of Michigan in the USA. And we're a not-for-profit organization which provides highly reliable English language assessments for a range of purposes, including for international student mobility. Now, in order to support US higher education in these very changed times, we needed to expand the portfolio of exams that we offer, and our Michigan English Test, or the MET, which is a high-stakes English language exam that was already used for international recruitment and for higher education and professional purposes in the USA and in many other parts of the world, needed to be updated to be fit for purpose to meet needs now. Moreover, in this very changed world, we realized that we needed to make this exam available not only digitally, but also for at-home testing alongside a conventional test center model. Let's not kid ourselves. The pandemic is still ongoing. People across the world have unequal access to vaccines. Government responses have varied widely, and necessary lockdowns can still happen at any time and in any place as a response to the pandemic. And what we don't want is to add stress to students who are trying to apply to US higher education institutions, we don't want to add to their stress by adding a complexity to where they're able to take their English exam. However, of course, at-home testing has its own challenges. And when you belong to the universities of Cambridge and Michigan, you have a big responsibility. I know there are a number of Michigan colleagues from across our campuses that are in this symposium today. And we need to be able to ensure that any student who arrives at any of our campuses with a score on a Michigan English test, that they can be sure that that is a valid and reliable indicator of the student's actual ability in English. And that the same is true for all of you today as it is for our Michigan colleagues, that we needed to be able to ensure that a student who is taking a test at home, that the same security and reliability was in place for those tests as it is for a student taking an exam in a test center. So we're delighted that we've been able to achieve that and that we've gone live with MET Digital. And my colleague, Dr. Gad Lim, will lead a question and answer session later on today, which discusses not only English language exams, but generally the role of assessment in international student recruitment, which is an area that I'm sure many of you are interested in. However, while I might spend most of my waking hours worrying about assessment, assessment is only one aspect of international student recruitment. And so for this symposium, we've brought together a team of experts and peers from different fields, connected to student recruitment in areas such as trends in emerging markets, understanding changes in terms of student expectations, and also changes required for student services and intensive English programs. So we've tried to cover the breadth of areas that you as international admissions experts will be interested in. The symposium covers 2 days. We've got 6 panels and 20 presenters who are joining us today, who've come from colleges, universities, the US Department of State, the US Department of Commerce, NAFSA, USIP, English USA, the Chronicle of Higher Education, and of course, Michigan Language Assessment. And we greatly thank the panelists for being with us today and sharing their expertise and thoughts with us. And to you, our delegates, thank you as well for sparing us some of your valuable time. We wish you an enjoyable and insightful symposium. And at this point, I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Dr. Fernando Flerkin, who is going to welcome and open the first panel.